Yes. Who would you like to hear from?
There's a couple people. I don't know which one you can.
We can cover them all, but tell me
Okay.
who to start with.
My grandmother.
Okay. Is there someone else in your family who's got the name Jennifer or another Jenny or another J name?
Well, my grandma's Virginia.
Virginia, yes, that's
Yeah.
her. That's her. Yes, and she's honoring that you could call her Jenny too. That's a form of Virginia. But she says you and she are so much alike. All the good things, that is. Your graciousness. She says every single time you look for the good, even in the midst of all the bad, you bring her spirit back to life. She can't go away because you are here. There's just no leaving. She can't leave because you're here. There's a little shelf at home. I don't know if you've got a little knick-knack shelf where you've got a couple things that are hers that are on the shelf.
Well, right beside the shelf, I have a coffee cup that was hers.
Yeah, right beside the shelf. Yeah, she says her things are there by the shelf or with the shelf. And all those things are valuable to you. And she is honored that you include her things with your special things. That means a lot to her. There's a birthday in May or an anniversary in May that she's recognizing. I know that's Mother's Day, but there's a couple other family connections in that month. And then something happened this past year in March. Did you move in the early spring or start a new job or do something different?
Not that I can think of.
Something was coming up to the top. You made some good changes in March, and it could even have been with self-care, getting healthy. But she says you've been on the right track this year with slowing down and respecting yourself, and just she's very, very pleased with that. There's a Cody or Kevin, someone with a C or a K name who's here, who's physically here, who she says is very supportive of you or very kind to you. So you've got some good friends, if you'll let them.
My husband is a C name.
That's him, yes. She says is he here? Yeah. She likes you. No, she says he's very supportive. And she really loves that he doesn't let you take yourself too seriously. Like he's just got a way of getting you out of your own way. And sometimes you can be your own worst enemy. And that's why she loves him, because he kind of eases you out of that. There's a table that had a leaf in it. I don't know if she had like where you would have dinners at her house and her table would get bigger, or she's very proud of how she let the family. Like that was important to her. And she's honoring like expanding, and it was a huge amount of work, but it brought her such joy to do it. There's an Agnes or Angie.
I have a cousin, Angie.
She says reach out to her or connect with her. She'd like for you two to chat, because you get along real well together. And there's also an S, like Stella or Susan, who's physically here, who she also is requesting that you could reach out to or that you could connect with. Do you have like little pins you were making, or have you been trying to design some kind of jewelry, or have a friend who makes jewelry? Had somebody been showing you like some handmade pieces or something like real different that they'd made with jewelry? Do you have some of her old brooches or old pins?
I do.
That's what it is. Yes, yes. Get some of that out. She says they're really lovely. I mean, and they'd be real trendy today. So yeah, don't just leave her stuff in a box. You get it out and use it, because she's proud of it, and it'll make you feel connected with her. There's a male with a J name too who's here, like Jeremy or Jake, who's physically here, who she's recognizing.
My brother Jason.
Yeah, reach out to him from your grandma. Just tell him she sends her love. There's a father figure who's with you too. Have you lost your dad? Or a stepfather kind of a person?
Well, I have a stepfather that's very sick right now.
Keep him in your prayers. He might be making some changes. I think there's some changes happening with him. Yeah, because I kind of see, his spirit's in that phase of kind of figuring things out. I'm not giving him a death sentence, but I do see some changes happening there. Have you lost an uncle then? Because there's a guy who's like your dad's generation who's with you. Or it could be a former father-in-law or someone who's kind of along those lines. There's a man with a D name too, like Edward or a Daniel, who's connected with you. Have you lost your father? Or did you have an uncle? One of them who's passed. I know that's who's wanting to come through.
Being the noisy spirit.
Yeah, I know. Well, and since you guys are together, that's okay. Yeah. Have you been thinking about starting your own business or doing something independent as far as work goes, or investing in something different? Yeah. Your uncle says that you'll succeed. It's a slow process, but he wants you to know he's your guardian angel, and you'll do it, and you'll be real successful with it. So start moving down the road. Start moving down the road. There's a Betty or a Bonnie too, but I think she might be yours. And did you have a Betty or?
Well, we had a family close friend named Bonnie.
Bonnie. That's her. That's her. You guys have like all your families in cahoots together, which is really, really, really cool. But Bonnie sends her love too. She says you have made your house a home. And that's what you remember about her house, is it always felt real warm when you went there, like you felt at home. She says everyone who comes to your house feels at home too. Your grandma says sometimes you get yourself tied in knots, and she shows me pretzels, like you really feel tied in knots. And she says just ask her for help. Ask her to help you feel relaxed, or to get a sense of warmth in your chest. And as soon as you ask, you'll feel better. She says sometimes you forget the easiest thing to do is to ask for help instead of trying to do it on your own. So she's wanting you to remember that. Someone had been doing were you guys trying to balance a checkbook not too long ago, or like get your accounts and your finances straight or balanced?
About it, yeah.
Yes. Yes. Your grandma and your uncle, they're all supportive of that. Get it straight so you can take your next step. It's all there. It's not as hard as you think, but they're saying ask for help from heaven, get it straight, and then move on. It'd be a good thing to do. Your grandma has some kind of letters too and cards that you had sent her. Did you keep some old Christmas cards either she had sent you or that you had sent to her?
I have a lot of her stuff, so I'm sure there's...
Yes.
I think I have some letters that my grandpa sent her from the war.
Yeah. There again, go through some of that stuff, especially those letters. She just wants you to really savor those moments and those memories. She's so proud of you, and then she wants you to pass them on down. She says love isn't supposed to be kept in a box, it's shared, and that's why it'd be neat to get those things out. There's also a Paula or Pat, who she's mentioning, who's connected with your family, who's physically still here, not who's passed. So either you have a friend named Patsy or Patricia, something like that. You don't think of who it is.
Yeah.
Again, someone real supportive to reach out to. Someone had either had a miscarriage or there'd been an issue with losing a pregnancy or losing a baby too. Had you had an issue with maybe not?
I haven't, just some close people to me lately.
Okay, yeah. Just there's one of your female friends, obviously. But anyway, I just see that she had, probably within the past 2 or 3 months, and just let her know that little one will be back when the time's right. So encourage her not to give up or not to lose hope, because I see her holding a little baby. And it's neat because your grandma has such a sweet love for children. She keeps all the babies in the family, and she just watches over them until it's time for them to be born. That's an important role for her, and that's very honored. She says it's an honor for her to do that. She sends you all kinds of birds, like cardinals and doves. She just, anytime you see the birds, that's her connection or her spirit with you. There's also these little purple flowers. Did you plant some violets over the summer? Or do you remember her having like impatiens and violets and little flowers like that?
Irises and...
The purple, yes, the purple irises. That's what I... Yep, that's what I see is all the little purple flowers. She says, anytime you're out going for a walk and you see the purple flowers, just know she's walking with you. Somebody had like a diabetes or an insulin issue, or with a blood sugar issue, and she's recognizing that. And she says, you take care of yourself. Don't think that family health issues are for you to worry about. You use that as inspiration to take good care of you. And that's all she wants from you, is for you to love yourself and take good care of you so you can take good care of the family. That's her goal. She's very much about the family. Okay, who else did you want to hear from? We can talk to one more.
I lost a best friend. His name is Chris, about 10 years ago.
Okay, so he's another C or K name. Okay, yeah, no problem, because I can see him there. He also likes you, says you're just it's a good match. You're in a good relationship. Chris says he wants you to know he was ready to go. He'd made his peace, he'd done his job, he felt ready, and then he was good. He talks about you breaking the rules, and he says he doesn't ever want you to be afraid to break the rules that need to be broken. And I think you've got a little bit of a rebellious streak, and he's honoring that, because I think he shared that with you. And he's telling me about taking breaks at work. I don't know if you would take longer breaks than what you were sometimes supposed to. Yep, he remembers that, and that's what he showed me, like hanging back for a few extra minutes, or 10 extra minutes, or maybe longer than that. And he shows me lunch bags too, so I don't know if you guys would ever take lunch breaks together, do something with lunch.
He was dating my other friend. We was all just very best friends, and me and her worked together. And he'd always bring us supper.
The lunch.
In the middle of the night.
Yep, he's honoring that.
Yeah.
That was, bringing the sandwiches. He says, tell her he sends his love, and he's happy. He wasn't afraid to go. He says, I just wasn't afraid, because he had a very full and blessed life, and he gets that. Anytime you see it, it just gives me chills talking to him. He says, anytime you see Subway wrappers or Subway trash, just know that that's him giving you a sign, and let that bring a warm smile to your face thinking of him. And then he shows me the month of April. So I don't know if her birthday was in April or if his was. I would ask her, but he's talking about that being a significant time. And also he's always got change. He says he's always got change. So if you find pennies or dimes or something, it's from him too, because he knows how to make some change. You've got the next couple of years. It's just, I see you guys making so many improvements, but it really starts in these next few months, especially going into the holidays, with getting all the banking and the bookwork and all that in order, so you can start living your dreams. Yeah. Oh, your grandma says about a dog too. Had you guys gotten a dog not too long ago?
No.
Are you thinking about?
Talking about it.
She'll send you the right one. You will. You will get one. And she could push it. It could be in December, but I think it may be after the holidays. But I tell you, she's going to send one, and there'll just be no denying that, oh, that's our dog. And she's making the way for that. So, yeah, you're very loved. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.